California's assault weapons ban could be on its last legs after a San Diego federal judge ruled the ban unconstitutional on Thursday. Joining us now to talk more about the case is the executive director of the San Diego County Gun Owners PAC, Michael Schwartz. Michael, good morning. It's good to see you as always.
Good morning.
This is something that the San Diego Gun Owners Club, you're the ones that fought this in court.
Correct. We're plaintiffs. It's the Miller case. Jim Miller is one of our board members, and this is something that we worked with other partners on and spearheaded, and we're very, very proud of the results.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a long time coming. This could end up all the way in the Supreme Court, though, because Governor Newsom, his tweets about this are just, he uses very, very harsh language to get his point across, but it seems misguided.
It is, and interestingly, the judge that came out with a decision that said that this ban is unconstitutional, this is the second time he's ruled on this and said it was unconstitutional. After a Supreme Court decision last year that said, hey, you have to look at gun cases differently. The Supreme Court kicked the decision back down to the Ninth Circuit Court and said, you have to revisit this. Because after he decided it was unconstitutional, the broader Ninth Circuit Court said, we're going to pause this. We think that judge got it wrong. So it went back to the same judge at the direction of the Supreme Court, and he again is saying, yes, this is unconstitutional. You know, they call it an assault weapon ban, but that term assault weapon is really purely made up by the state of California. That's not a real term. What they've banned are guns, and you can't have a gun ban. And these aren't even machine guns or fully automatic guns. These are very popular, not exotic or weird or dangerous guns. They're just semi-automatic rifles that most Americans own.
Makes you wonder how many guns Gavin Newsom owns. You know, he's got people walking around protecting him with guns.
He does that, and that's the huge hypocrisy is how he's adamant about Californians not owning guns or being extremely restrictive. He's very critical of gun owners and gun ownership. Meanwhile, he's got a small army that protects him. Well, I don't know. I think if I had a small army that protected me, I don't think I'd want anybody else to have a gun either. Because right. that would give me the unfair advantage. Well, Governor, we don't have the unfair advantage. We have to be able to defend ourselves in our homes. We have to be able to defend ourselves when we're outside of the homes. So fortunately, we have the Constitution and the courts on our side. You know,
I wanted to run this by you because Ted Nugent, big Second Amendment guy, like him or not, I saw an interview with him here that really resonated with me, and he brought up a point. He said, I study all these mass shootings. Every time there's a mass shooting, I study it, and they all have one thing in common. They all occur in gun-free zones. And you and I have talked about when we watch a lot of surveillance video, crimes that happen on the street and things like that, crimes that happen when people break into a home, and you'll have 2 or 3 guys come in with guns, but as soon as that homeowner turns the corner with a gun, they suddenly remember they left the oven on, and they're out of there. They don't like meeting with resistance. They'll flee more times than not.
There's a lot of statistical evidence that shows that well over 90% of what are considered mass shootings happen in a gun-free zone. There's a lot of statistics that show, they've done surveys, for example, of criminals and asked them, what's your biggest fear as a criminal when you're victimizing someone? And by far their biggest fear is an armed victim, because that armed victim is able to defend themselves. There are statistics that show between 1 million and 3 million times per year someone uses a firearm to either stop or prevent a violent crime. So I wish that the government, California, would spend our tax money on defending our rights and going after criminals rather than spending our tax money on limiting our rights and making us unable to defend ourselves against criminals. It doesn't seem to make any sense. It's very counterintuitive, and I think they're completely misguided.
I think a lot of people too, they don't, if you don't understand how guns work and how they're used and get training, then you're really never going to understand what you and I are talking about right here.
Yeah, I agree. And we have a lot of opportunities. Our organization has a lot of opportunities to learn. For everything from being on media like this to different events, including this weekend. We're actually part of a gun show and gun symposium in East San Diego at the Masonic Lodge. We invite people to come out and learn the truth, learn from experts, learn from, we have a panel of politicians, the sheriff's gonna be there talking. There's all kinds of opportunity to come out and educate yourself, and then learn more about this, our victory today.
Okay, and where can we go online to find out about the symposium?
Best place to go is gunownersradio.com, gunownersradio.com, and you'll find out all the information there is to know on the symposium.
All right, Michael Schwartz, great talking to you, man. Good to catch up.
Great, thank you.
All right.